Hello everyone, thank you for checking out this video. You are with Coach Deathbot from 32 Academy.
First of all, question 1. The question asks us to find the value of this expression. So the expression is 1 over 1 minus 4th root of 5 plus 1 over 1 plus 4th root of 5 plus 2 over 1 plus square root of 5. So how do we approach this question? Let's try together. Start with the first two fractions. So let me just rewrite the original expression. 1 plus 4th root of 5 plus 2 over 1 plus square root of 5. So the first two fractions, if you combine it together, it would be, the denominator will be just the product of the denominators. And here we need the first fraction need to multiply by 1 plus 4th root of 5. The second fraction need to multiply by 1 minus 4th root of 5. Leave the last fraction untouched for the moment. So when you start to simplify this, you notice that the 4th root of 5 minus 4th root of 5, they will be cancel each other out, leave you with 2 over, now the denominator, notice that it is in the form of a minus b multiplied by a plus b. So that would equal to a square minus b square. So a is 1, square meaning it's still maintained as 1. b is 4th root of 5. So b square would become square root of 5. And of course the last fraction is still like this. Same thing, put as one fraction. Combine the denominator, it will be just the product. This will be minus root 5, 1 plus root 5. The first fraction need to multiply by 1 plus root 5. So 2 plus 2 root 5. The second fraction need to multiply by 1 minus root 5. So that will be 2 minus 2 root 5. Let me write in front. So you cancel the 2 root 5. It will leave you with 4 over. At the denominator, again, it will be in the form of a minus b multiplied by a plus b. So it will equal to 1 square, which is still 1, minus b square. In this case, our b is square root 5. So b square will just be 5. So 4 over 1 minus 5 is negative 4. 4 divided by negative 4, it will just give you a negative 1. So the final answer is negative 1. Moving on, question 2. So at 2:40 p.m., the angle formed by the hour and the minute hands of a clock is x degree. The question asks, what is that value of x, whereby x is in between 0 and 180. Okay, let's try this together. So here we can start from, let's say we start from 12 p.m. Okay, so from 12 p.m. to 2:40 p.m. how many minutes has it passed? So that would be 2 hours and 40 minutes, right? So 2 hours 40 minutes, meaning that 2 multiplied by 60 minutes per hour plus 40. So 120 plus 40, that's 160 minutes that has passed. So we know that in 1 minute, how many degrees does the upper hand move? So the upper hand would move 0.5 degree, okay? And the minute hand would move 6 degrees, right? So within that 160 minutes, the upper hand would move in a total of 0.5 degrees per minute multiplied by 160 minutes. So that would be 80 degrees. The minute hand would move 6 degrees per minute multiplied by 160 minutes. That would be equal to 960 minutes. But notice that 960 minutes, let me write here, it's equal to 2 multiplied by 360 minutes plus the remainder of 240 minutes. So what does this mean? This means that it will move 2 rounds and extra 240 degrees. So technically, effectively, the minute hand would move 240 degrees. So starting off at 12 p.m., meaning that the two hands, the alpha hand and the minute hand, coincide on top of each other. So there is no angle formed between these two. After 160 minutes, there will be an angle moving of 240 minus 80. That would be 160 degrees. So to answer the question, x would equal to 160. Next, question 3. This is a geometry question. So they say that in triangle ABC, AB equal to AC. Alright, so this is already a isosceles triangle. So let's try to draw the figure together. And angle BAC is equal to 120 degrees. So the figure may look something like this. Okay, it's not drawn to scale. Alright, so let's say this is A, B, and C. AB equal to AC. Angle BAC is equal to 120 degrees. D is the midpoint of BC. Because it's isosceles, you should already know what it means, right? D is midpoint of BC. And E is a point on AB such that DE is perpendicular to AB. So maybe something here. Okay, so this is point E, whereby this is perpendicular. So the question asks, what is the ratio of AE to BD? Okay, so how to solve this question? So like I already said just now, it is given that AB is equal to AC, so that means that triangle ABC is isosceles. D is given that it is the midpoint of BC. So first thing first, we can infer that AD is perpendicular to BC. Alright, so that is the height. And also that AD would also bisect angle BAC. Right. Bisect angle BAC meaning that it divides the angle BAC into two equal angles. So meaning here angle BAG is equal to 120 divided by 2, so 60 degrees. Okay, so let's say x is equal to AE. Okay, so this AE is x. Right. So notice that in triangle AED, it is a right triangle with angle at point A is 60 degrees, angle at point E is 90 degrees. So this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay, so let me write it down. Triangle ADE is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Or some of you may call it like half of equilateral triangle. Right. So from here, we can say that AD, which is the hypotenuse, it would be twice of AE, right? The shortest side. and AE we already denoted as x, so AD is equal to 2x. Okay, so remember, at the end of the day, we want to find the ratio of AE to BD. AE is already x, so we're trying to find BD in terms of x. Okay, so notice that triangle ABD, it is a right triangle with angle at A is 60 degree. Okay, right? So meaning that triangle ABD is also a 30, 60, 90 triangle, or half of a equilateral triangle. Okay, so AD is already found that it is 2x. So BD, right, it is the height, it's the medium side basically. Okay, so here I can say that AB is twice of AD, but AD is already found as 2x, so this will be 4x. That means that BD can be found by Pythagoras. Okay, square root of AB square, so 4x square minus AD square, which is 2x square. You can try this out. It will be 2 root 3x. Okay, because it's 12. 12 is equal to 4 multiplied by 3, and 4 can come out of the square root, it will become 2, and 3 is still stuck under the square root. So I already find AE, which is x. I already find BD, which is 2 square root 3x. So to answer the question, hence the ratio of AE to BD would be equal to x to 2 root 3x, which of course x is just some quantity that you can cancel out. So it's 1 to 2 square root 3. So that would be the final answer. Moving on, next is question 4. Let's try and read the question together. So the question says that let A be the solution or the root to this equation. Alright, so x minus 7 over x minus 8 minus x minus 8 over x minus 9 equal to x minus 10 over x minus 11 minus x minus 11 over x minus 12. So A being the root of this equation, so A is equal to some value. The question asks you to find what is the value of 6A. Okay, let's try to solve this together. So the trick to this question is for each fraction, so for example x minus 7 over x minus 8, you can write it as x minus 8 plus 1 over x minus 8. So in a way this is like long division. You break it into two fractions, x minus 8 over x minus 8, that would be 1, and the other fraction is 1 over x minus 8. Alright, so using this, the first fraction can be written as 1 plus 1 over x minus 8. You do the same thing to the second fraction, but because there is a minus in front, so it will be minus 1, minus or plus will be also minus 1 over x minus 9. I do the same thing, 1 plus 1 over x minus 11. For the last fraction, there is a minus in front. Again, it will be minus 1 minus 1 over x minus 12. So notice that 1 minus 1 will be gone. Also on the right hand side, 1 minus 1 is also gone. So here would only leave you with 1 over x minus 8 minus 1 over x minus 9. Here is 1 over x minus 11 minus 1 over x minus 12. Okay, put in one fraction. Okay, notice that the numerator now would become x minus 9 minus x minus 8 in a bracket. So when you open the bracket, it will be minus x plus 8. Alright, be careful about that. So here is x minus 11, x minus 12. The first fraction need to multiply by x minus 12. Again, minus in front of the bracket. So when you open the bracket, it will be minus x plus 11. Notice that both numerator now just equal to negative 1. Alright, so meaning that from here I can say that it is just the denominator that are equal to each other. Okay. Expand out on both sides. X squared minus 9x minus 8x, so that will be minus 17x. Negative multiplied by negative is plus. 8 times 9 will be 72. Same thing on the right hand side. X squared minus 12 minus 11, so that is minus 23x. Minus 11 multiplied by minus 12, so that is a plus 132. X squared on both sides, so you can solve that out from here. I believe you should know how to find. It's just an equation. 6x is equal to 6t. Alright, just nice. Alright, x is the root, right? So x and a is technically the same thing. So the answer would be just 6t. Moving on, question 5. D is given as the absolute value of the difference of the two roots of this equation. It is a quadratic equation, alright? 3x squared minus 10x minus 201 is equal to 0. Quadratic equation, it should have two roots, possibly the same, alright? But obviously in this case, as you can check later on, it's not the same. And D is the absolute value of the difference of the two roots. Okay, so it's the two root, you get it? So it's the positive difference, basically. So the question asks, what is the floor of D? So floor of D meaning that it is, the question asks you to find what is the integer part of D. Alright, let's try it out together. Quadratic equation, okay? If using the quadratic formula, okay? So the two root is negative b plus minus square root of the discriminant divided by 2a. So if you find the difference of the two root, so using the quadratic formula, the absolute difference, or some may just call the positive difference of the two roots, is G is equal to, right, like I said just now, this is one of the root, right, divided by 2a. This is another root. So you take the difference, that would be just square root of b squared minus 4ac over a. Alright. So that would be equal to, b is a negative 10, correct? Square minus 4 times a, 3. C is a negative 201. Square root of that over a, which is 3 in this case. Okay. So all you need to do is expand this out, so it's 100. Minus minus become plus. This would be 2, 4, 12. Okay, divided by 3. Square root of, let me just write in front. Okay, this is the first root just in case. Okay, this is the second root, and then you just take r1 minus r2 basically. and then here you will get 2512 divided by 3. Right, so since 2512, it is not a perfect square. You need to do some approximation to it, and that's the reason why the question asks for the integer part of d. Okay, so 2512 is in between 50 square and 51 square. So meaning the square root of this will be in between 50 and 51. Okay, so 50, so meaning d will be in between 50 over 3 and 51 over 3. 51 divided by 3 is 17. 50 divided by 3 is 16 2/3. Alright, so hence the floor of d, or the integer part of d, would be just 16. We have completed this lesson. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. Goodbye, and see you again in another lesson.
If you would like to learn more from these tutorials, please smash that like and subscribe button.